This terminal is probably similar to those you've seen in your offices. While some models may look a bit different, they all basically function the same way, by using a keyboard to transmit information to the computer. The real differences between the terminals are in how they are used. Let's use this terminal in an online system as an example. Suppose a policyholder calls us with a billing problem.
Okay, could you give me your number, please, your policy number?
A service representative will type in a request to the computer, and within seconds the policyholder's record will be displayed on the screen. The representative can then quickly answer any questions, giving the kind of prompt, efficient service that keeps customers happy. Before online, representatives could type in requests for policy information, but then they had to wait until the following day for the computer to send out a printout. That method, which is called batch processing, is still used to obtain information that is not needed immediately, or which takes a long time to process. Another type of input device is a card reader. Not long ago, most input was handled through this machine. However, there are several problems associated with using cards. They fray at the edges from use and must be replaced. Cards can be lost, and if they're dropped, valuable computer time is wasted while the cards are being put back in order. Today, most of our systems use terminals for data entry. Anything that was typed on these cards can now be entered on a terminal. Now let's go over to the computer center to see how and where data is processed. This is the entrance to the computer center. It houses millions of dollars worth of equipment and all of the data we process, such as policyholder information, claim data, and billing data. All of this must be secured and protected. For that reason, each employee authorized to enter the computer center is assigned a special badge which signals the access control system to open the door. Our first stop is the Network Control Center. When data is typed into an online terminal, it is sent to Long Grove over telephone lines known as the teleprocessing network. It ends up here in one of these machines. This is a modem. It provides an interface between the terminal, the telephone lines, and the computer. The modem also determines how fast the data will be sent to and from the computer. The Network Control Center has a staff which is responsible for monitoring our teleprocessing network and diagnosing and correcting problems. The help desk is also located here and is responsible for helping you when you are having problems sending and receiving data, or when the terminal isn't working right. The help desk and the Network Control Center work together to keep the network available to you and to help you. From here, the data is sent to the computer. This is our computer system. As you can see, it is not just one big machine as is generally thought, but a group of units working together. In some computer centers, someone must sit here to monitor the system. Ours, however, is monitored by remote control from an adjoining room. We can do this because of the quality of the software and because the hardware is relatively maintenance-free. The remote control monitoring system keeps this area relatively free of traffic and reduces security risks. After information has been input into the computer, the processing of that information takes place in the Central Processing Unit, or CPU. It's this heart of our computer which controls the system and manipulates the information to produce the results we want. Now let's look at where information is stored. Online applications require that data be readily accessible to the computer. The best method for this purpose is storing the data on magnetic disk. The disks inside this machine resemble phonograph records. Information is encoded on the surface of each platter. The computer can quickly locate the requested material and send it back to the terminal. The entire process just takes a few seconds or less. Fast response to questions allows decisions to be made quickly and problems to be resolved effectively. Information can also be stored on magnetic tape. The low cost of tape makes it an ideal medium for storing large amounts of information. The tapes are housed in the tape library. Unlike discs, however, these tapes must be retrieved manually, and read from the beginning in order to find the required information. These tapes are generally used during the night and on weekends for batch processing. At that time, there are fewer online demands for the system. The information being sought goes back to the requester through a computer printout. Computer printouts come in all varieties. Program listings and statistical reports are only part of what is printed by the computer. We also print commission and claim settlement checks. We prepare policy-related forms such as declaration pages and renewal notices, and then there are pre-printed mailers, quarterly profit-sharing statements, and our annual benefit statements. Even our online screen messages can be printed if hard copy is needed for a file. To keep up with all of these printouts, we have a laser printer. Operating at speeds up to 10 times faster than the standard printer, it can print 20,000 lines per minute. With a 132-character line, that works out to approximately 44,000 characters per second. The computer center operates 24 hours a day. It takes a tremendous amount of electrical power to operate all of this equipment. A power failure would bring the center to a standstill. To avoid such a disaster, we've installed an uninterruptible power supply system. It acts as a voltage regulator to eliminate any power fluctuations. It would also provide the necessary power to our computers and telephone switching equipment if the electricity in the building ever failed completely. This completes our tour of the computer center. We hope you've gained a better understanding of the computer and its functions. It's your system. We want you to use it, and we want to be as responsive as we can to your needs.